What's up, everybody? Welcome to SWAT MMA. This is episode number 158. I'm Jarrod here with Paul.
What up?
Coming to you from the fight capital of the world. Today, we're going to be smoking and talking all about UFC 284 plus BKFC Knucklemania 3. Before we dive into the combat sports, though, you know what time it is. Grab your stash, fire it up, and let's get into the weed of the week.
Smoke weed every day.
This week we got some very rare, interesting new strain here. So we have pink truffles, which is going to be a 90-10 hybrid indica. So this one is a very new strain out there. So there isn't like a ton of lineage info, but it is a mixture of 3 different pink kush strains.
Dude, it looks incredible.
Yeah.
It's fucking purple and green, and it
real
looks like it's
smooth,
been
too.
dipped in some powdered sugar practically.
Yeah.
Like, we're breaking it up here. Very nice fucking coloring, dude. Super dank, too.
Blitzes you, too, because I came in sober and I'm fucking baked now.
Yeah, we just smoked one little bowl over here. I haven't even dived into this fucking joint yet. I've been really impressed with this weed. Yeah, boy. Got a little bit of action in this vape pen, too. Not enough to really talk about, though. It's another Secret Orchard watermelon. We'll be hitting on that. That's almost 90% THC. Hope whatever you're smoking on, it is delicious. And we want to, of course, thank Binoid CBD for sponsoring our Weed of the Week segment. If you are interested at all in legal alternatives to cannabis, if you happen to live in a state where it is not reached a form of medical or recreational legality, then you can check out Binoid. You can go to our website, SWATMMA.com, click on the cool stuff button, and you will find a bunch of links that send you to a great company where you can save about 20% off your order, and you will find items that are legal in all 50 states because they are derived from the hemp plant and not the cannabis plant. So thanks once again, Binoid. Check it out on our website. Let's talk about UFC 284.
Yeah.
Fucking robbery in my mind.
Yeah,
robbery.
very good night of fights that was very controversial in the end, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to talk about on this card, but I would just like to dive right into the main event, some of the controversy maybe around it, and then we'll go into the rest of the card a little bit, if that's cool with you, Paul.
Yeah, that works.
Like, first off, it was a great fight.
Yeah.
The main event, deservedly won fight of the night. We had Islam Makhachev going against Alexander Volkanovski, supposedly the number 1 pound for pound versus the number 2, but I'd like to remind everybody listening, that's an arbitrary list created by, 30 unknown MMA media members who vote on it once a month or a week or whatever.
Also, there's like a weird... Here's the thing. John Jones is the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world. Francis Ngannou is the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world when it comes down to it, because neither of those guys are going to get beat up by someone the size of Islam Makhachev or Alexander Volkanovski.
Right.
So the whole pound for pound thing is kind of just a standby waiting for John Jones to fight next month.
And the argument itself is fictitious. It's fucking opinion based, but it's a good time. We all basically enjoy it. Okay, so basically number 1 versus number 2 for tonight or last night or whatever the night it was, based on when you're listening to this. But look, I thought this was a clear-cut victory for Alexander Volkanovski.
Yeah, I did too, and I feel like there is a lot of things that enter the fold when you talk about how this fight was judged, because we have just a broken system that just continues to fail us when it comes to the scoring and in which these fights are judged. You know, like
Absolutely we do.
when you have one of the judges coming in with a 4-1 on the scorecard of 49-40, what is that, 49-46? That's just egregious. Like, there's just no scenario in which you could have thought that fight was a 4-1. And
absolutely not. If you look at just overall strike count, Volkanovski landed 164 to, I believe, 165 to 94. He stopped 5 of 9 takedown attempts, which you can also say that Islam was successful on 4 takedown attempts. But how many strikes were landed by Islam, Paul, when he had Volkanovski down? What are the ground strike numbers?
The ground strike numbers are really where I think is the funniest thing you see in the whole fight.
Right, because that's the only way that you can say Islam won was because of the takedowns, right? The takedowns.
And also, he was credited with 0 submission attempts also. Like, yeah, there was like some times where he would kind of like work it, but there was no like real like scenario where he had some deep choke that Volkanovski survived. You know what I mean? It was
No,
always
he
just
never seemed to do
threatening
anything. And how many
positions.
strikes did Islam land officially?
0 of 0.
0 strikes on the ground.
Yeah.
So it's and he has 0
Over
submission
7.5
attempts.
minutes of
Official,
control
right.
time though.
And so that 7.5 minutes of control time was spent hugging Volkanovski.
Yeah.
So I would like someone to listening, please chime in the comments on whatever platform you're hearing this, if you can defend this. How is that enough to win him the fight when the clear striking advantage goes to Volkanovski?
And I do think it comes into play also, is like a lot of times we would see in the past before the scoring criteria was changed, was activity was kind of scored in a different way. And I feel like that's kind of where I thought it should have been scored in this fight. I thought, yeah, Makhachev had points in the fight where he had clear control, and there was nowhere that necessarily Volk was like able to go. You know what I mean? When you look at round 1 and 4, it was kind of those situations where he got his back, put in the body triangle, kind of just sat there and like waited for Volkanovski to have openings to attempt a submission, which never really came. And when you talk about that, you just have to think that activity on the feet and activity within the fight have to be scored above non-activity and control on just sitting there.
And if control time is so valuable, you're right. Islam had 7 minutes and 37 seconds of control time in the fight off of 4 takedowns. But then Volkanovski, who had 0 takedowns, also had 2 minutes and 55 seconds of credited control time, which means he reversed him.
Yeah.
Basically, right?
And not only that, there was a
or
good
he knocked him down and got on top of him.
Yeah. Well, and then also there was a good amount of time in which they were on the cage where Volkanovski was the one, handling the exchange. Well, like there was I think it was round 2 where he tried to push Volk up on the cage and Volk reversed him and kind of held him in there and I thought was kind of dominating physically. And I think a big part of it also is like defense is not really something that's ever scored. And what I feel like when you're talking about grappling, it's something that has to be scored. Because defense is just as big in grappling as is when you talk about going for these submissions and stuff. Having the answer to all those takedowns and having the answer to a lot of, the different dangerous positions that Volkanovski was in was the reason that fight was as close as it was. Because I'd say the biggest thing that Islam has over everybody else in the lightweight division is his ability to control you and control where the fight takes place.
Yes, he gets your back and then it's over. He got Volkanovski's back early.
Yeah.
And Volk survived it. And then at the end was surviving it with ease. I mean, I think it was round 3. I could be wrong. I haven't gone back and rewatched. But one of the rounds ended with Volkanovski's back. Islam was on Volk's back up against the cage. And Volk was literally the one punching behind his head. Ineffective punches, mind you. Yeah. But he's still the one landing all these punches on Islam's face while Islam just hugs him for like 40 seconds until Volk is smiling, giving a thumbs up and going to the refs like, what the fuck are we doing here? So how is that? I just don't understand how any of that outweighs what was done on the feet.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me. If he was getting mauled on the ground, if you were looking at, he took him down and look at the ground strikes by Islam were like 50 to, he's got 0.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Why can't we get this right in MMA? How long does it have to fucking go on before we can do something to fix the goddamn judging here? Mm-hmm. I don't understand it. The UFC wants to keep throwing all this ridiculous money at a bunch of bullshit. We got fucking Power Slap League. Yeah. We can't fix MMA judging.
Yeah. And it's funny that now we have the I don't know if you saw it during the week, but this like athlete summit thing where a bunch of guys from all different MMA organizations have come together to try to change and make some kind of move on this whole judging thing. And it's funny that the fighters have to basically unionize to get anything fair in the sport, whether it's pay, healthcare, the actual rules, judging. Like, why do we have to start a fighters union Like I get it. A fighters union is needed in the sport. 100%, I agree with that. But why do we have to get together and start a fighters union just to get the fucking sport actually judged correctly?
Or the same rules in every state.
Yeah, like that's crazy to me. How is there not unified rules? How is
We
there?
would go back to this example many times. Imagine if football had minor but still different rule changes. One thing's a penalty in fucking Minnesota, but if you play in Denver, that's not a penalty.
Yeah,
One thing is worth extra points if you're playing in Chicago, but if you're playing in San Francisco, it's worth less points.
Yeah.
What the fuck would that be?
yeah. And also, I do think there's this thing with judges also that there is some kind of new hybrid system of rules that they have tried to implement, right?
Yeah.
But yet, when these hybrid set of rules have been put in place, there's also no judges actively following those new hybrid rules. Because if you look at a lot of these fights, sometimes they'll score in a way in which, we saw last night, and then they'll turn around and then also do it in, like, let's say the Peter Yan versus Sean O'Malley fight, and everyone said, well, Peter Yan took Sean O'Malley down 5 times, but he did nothing with it, so that doesn't matter. So we made Sean O'Malley win. So in this scenario, we get the flip that, well, Islam won the fight because he took him down 4 times and held him there. Well, what the fuck was the reason you picked a whole other person 2 months ago? It was because he took him down and held him there, did nothing, but then when they got on the feet, he then knocked him down. He outstruck him. This is exactly, pretty much, almost stat by stat, how Sean O'Malley beat Peter Yan. But yet, it's a flip of the decision, and we're being told in the media that, it's not that big of
that's no robbery.
It's not a robbery. It's
There's
just
plenty
a
of fighters
close
that agree
fight.
with us that this
Yeah,
is
this was an
absolutely
absolute
ridiculous.
robbery. Absolute robbery.
It's look, it was a great fight. Let's focus on that part of it. The fight was very enjoyable to watch. Both guys really fought well.
I think both guys proved a lot too.
I think so. We talk about the pound for pound thing. Let's also talk about the fact that Islam has run through with his wrestling all of his prior opponents, albeit for one where he got KO'd. Yeah. And he certainly didn't even come close to running through Volkanovski, and he had a considerable size advantage as well. So Volk did what he did while also being the smaller man in the cage with this whole pound for pound thing.
Yeah. But I do give credit to Islam in a few different aspects, though. He did look much improved on his feet. He did have some successful strikes within the fight where I was very, very surprised that Volkanovski wasn't able to, get the better of him in some aspects for sure.
No, I agree. And if we're going to continue with the pound for pound narrative, the pound for pound best barely beat him. So, I mean, it's no shade on Islam Makhachev's fight, his fighting skills or anything by saying that Volkanovski was robbed in the decision. He put up a great fight. He's a great fighter. He's going to continue to be a great champion.
And it was close. I think there's...
etc. It was a close fight.
Yeah. There's a scenario in my head where they fight 5 times and there's a different winner every single time. I think it's kind of what we talked about with that whole Moreno-Figueiredo thing. It's like these are just the 2 guys who are kind of at the peak of this general weight class when you talk about 45 and 55, like that range. Like these are the cream of the crop, and these kind of fights are going to go back and forth, And I just feel like last night was Volk's night, but they just didn't give him it, I guess.
Well, as for the aftermath, I mean, Volkanovski obviously didn't lose anything in this fight except his undefeated streak. I think he probably gains a lot of shine from it, really. I don't see how he should even really lose his pound for pound spot in these mythical rankings.
I think they could be 1A and 1B because that's really what it looked like last night.
Yeah, until John Jones is officially back on the scene. Yeah. But as far as Islam, I mean, he obviously didn't lose anything here. He gets the W. It doesn't really matter what any people like me and you think.
Yeah.
Ultimately, history shows he got the W here, and he's going to go on and hopefully fight somebody decent in his own division next.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with him next because there is not very many fights in lightweight division right now that are of great, importance.
No,
Like,
there's a lot of cool dudes in the top 5, but this a bunch of names we keep getting regurgitated with
Yeah.
Poirier, Gaethje, Chandler.
Connor, fucking Tony Ferguson, in Charles Oliveira. Like, these are all names. In one case, that Islam handled Charles pretty well, and then yeah, he's never really fought all those guys that we just named, but like all those guys kind of have reasons why you can't really give them a title shot right now.
Yeah. Well, we do know what's next for Alexander Volkanovski. That's not up for debate because we saw an interim featherweight champion crowned. I think that was just in case, basically, Alexander won.
Yeah.
You know, then they needed to be able to have something to force his hand later. But we've got Yair Rodriguez taking on our boy Josh Emmett, getting the victory with a triangle choke in round 2 at the 4:19 mark. Interesting first round, really back and forth.
Yeah, really
Yair
good.
started off with some massive, massive leg kicks to the stomach of Josh Emmett that I thought
Yeah.
he was going to win the fight by faking a kick to the stomach and going upstairs.
And he did a couple times. He hit him with that hook kick and the question mark kick too, which was like neither of them landed like flush, but they all were freaking. The way that he throws and places kicks are just fucking otherworldly. And this is kind of something that me and you had talked about before the fight had started. I knew that this was the fight that it was going to be. It was the technical striker who has crazy, different flavor when it comes to the actual kicks he throws against a guy who's a real, not necessarily like super technical, but like old school grappler, striker. You know what I mean? Where he's got big power and he throws a lot of big punches.
Big power, Emmett.
But when it comes down to it, can lean on his grappling and wrestling abilities.
He was going a little bit wild though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's his style though. That's if you look at every fight in the UFC, he's had perfect examples like the Jeremy Stevens fight, where at most of when Josh has been in these big moments, he's come up short or past expectations because of his ability to make things, turn into a firefight. And I just feel like when you fight someone like Yair Rodriguez, that's just not something you can do.
No, I feel he would have been more successful like you were leading up to if he did just utilize a bit more of his wrestling. But he didn't have a lot of opportunity.
And I did think we saw Yair has really, really turned the corner in his grappling ability.
Yeah, he looked a lot better there.
A lot better. Like, yeah, the first round looked a little rough, but that was kind of, I think, a product of getting rocked. But that second round, that triangle was textbook. That was really, really good. I never thought I would have saw that from Yair Rodriguez.
Yeah, he did real well with that. That was a great big victory for him. He gets the interim championship here. And as much as I like the guy and as exciting as he is, that's as far as he's going to get tasting gold if Volkanovski continues in this division, which it looks like he's going to, because he ain't got nothing for Volk.
Yeah, I think Volk's the outlier. I feel like when it comes to 145, I just don't really see any of these guys that I think can beat him.
Dude, we keep talking about the greatest and pound for pound and this and that. He's making a very strong case to go down in history as the best featherweight in the world ever, period. I mean, people already stick that to Jose Aldo, and Jose's done right now, so we can look at the entirety of his career, WEC, UFC, and we can make some pretty solid calls on it. We don't know what's left for Alexander. He could go on and defend his title another 5 more fucking years or something. We just don't know. But damn, yeah, dude, you could make the argument now if you wanted to. If he retired right now,
just resume alone, he's got what, fucking 3 wins against Max Holloway. He's beat Jose Aldo, Chad Mendez, fucking Korean Zombie, Brian Ortega. Like, he's beat everyone.
And he doesn't, no one's gonna, that watch this fight, nobody but fucking fanboys of the Dagestani fighters are really gonna think anything bad about Volkanovski after this fight. Like, it's not like Adesanya, for instance. People that hate on him could be like, well, he got fucking beat bad by Jan. Which, I mean, he did kind of get tooled up. Like,
or like when
Volkanovski didn't get tooled up.
Or like TJ Dillashaw and Henry Cejudo type thing. Like,
he got tooled up by somebody. And he didn't get tooled up here. He did very well. And so, I think he's going to be around for a long time, is my point. My long-winded, I'm super high off this fucking pink truffle
this shit got me hella
dude. This is fucking killer weed. nobody's going to be messing with him for a while. That's my
Yeah, I don't
final
think so.
say on that. Be it even if Josh Emmett did one, he wouldn't have had anything for Volkanovski. He is an all-time great, without a doubt. Another fight here that really stood out to me was Randy Brown versus Jack Della Maddalena. Dude, that was supposed to be a test for Jack.
Yeah, passed.
That was a molly whopping.
Dude, that kid's good. He's really good.
And he gets the rear naked choke victory, 213 to round 1 after laying him out with his crazy left hand.
Yeah. Have you ever looked at that guy's nose?
I wanted to. I didn't really get a. I mean, I saw his nose was a little misshapen, but I didn't really get up close to the TV and look at it. You were bringing that up, but
Dude, he looks like he's probably broke his nose like 3-4 times and just like let it stay there.
Really?
Dude, like half his nose is like caved in.
He's the guy with the. Okay, I have seen it. I just didn't realize it was his.
That's what Randy Brown was saying before the week. He's going to plaster his nose onto the other side of his face. That's what he said.
Well, he did not even come close to that. Like at no point was that a threat. And Randy Brown's a good fighter. I like.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is one of those fights where you look at Jack's career and it only gets harder from here. Like that was a fight where it was like we're gonna gauge what we're gonna do with you based on that, and his ability to do what he did to Randy Brown is now going to make him into somebody who's got to probably fight someone who's ranked next. In my opinion, I think that's what comes after that, a performance like that.
Yeah, when you pass a supposed test with flying colors like that, it's time for somebody with a number behind their name.
Yeah.
So he's a big deal. I'm interested to see what goes next for him. What about the rest of the card? Anything stand out that you wish to talk about?
There's a couple really good.
How about that Crute versus Benefield? That was a good fight that ended in a majority draw. Jimmy Crute, that first round, that was one of the better light heavyweight rounds I've seen. Like, talk about back and forth.
Yeah.
Those guys really, really put on a show. We saw the rare fence grab point take.
I think that's what made this a draw. I really thought Benefield won.
I thought Benefield had it too. And then I don't remember the breakdown of the judges' scorecard. I think it was. Yeah, it had to have been because it was 28-28, 28-28, and then a 29-28, I believe, or 28-27. Yeah, 28-27. So, yeah, that point on all of them would have been...
Yep. Would have been the win.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I think it was a really good showing for both guys, though.
A lot of back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of back and forth.
A lot of back and forth. And you know what I think it is this division has a lot of guys who are just fucking really... coming up right now. Like light heavyweight is interesting again, I feel.
It is interesting again.
Is it the most talented it's ever been? I don't know about that. But at least, we got some fun action going on and some big fights that people aren't really shying away from, I'd say.
I mean, Benefield outstruck Crute like 56-31, but Crute had 6 takedowns to 0. But there was also, when you look at these takedowns, it has a little bit more weight behind it. We don't have the ground strike numbers for this fight. We do have the sub attempts. So he got accredited with 3 official submission attempts while on the fucking ground. And so that means that he was active in ways that can be, quantified.
Yeah.
But I wasn't too mad after the point. I mean, it was a blatant fence grab, though. That's the thing, though. And at some point, like, it prevented the takedown, which could have changed the course of the fight. We never know.
Mm-hmm. Well, on the first one though,
it was the first one though. But how many free takedown stops do you get by grabbing a fence? Because that's not like an eye poke. An eye poke can be like that was accidental. Fence grab's intentional. Nobody accidentally grabs a fence.
Yeah.
You can accidentally poke
I feel that. Yeah. I just feel that in the past that we've seen ones that were egregious as the one that Benefield did, and we've seen people get cautioned and then taken a point.
Dude, I've seen some refs just continue to like slap at a fighter's hand for 3 rounds.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm actually glad it happened. I'm glad he took a point. Yeah. Maybe it was excessive in this case, but
I don't think it was.
We need to swift that fucking pendulum the other way because nobody's getting penalized for anything.
True.
And when it's an intentional foul, you just have to fucking draw a line somewhere.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
As for the rest of the card, dude, it was pretty entertaining. I don't think there's a whole lot that I want to talk about.
I do
I
want to
did
talk
see that
about something.
Artem's arch nemesis lost his bout.
Yeah.
So that what was it by? I don't even know how to say his name anymore. Tuganov or whatever.
Yeah.
Him and Artem used to have all that smoke. But
Yeah.
Artem's busy suing Connor, and
Yeah.
this dude's busy losing the opening fight on the card. So
Yeah.
everybody's losing at this point.
So something we didn't plan on talking about, but I do want to talk about because we have yet to talk about it on the show. We will in the future more, but I do want to talk about it real quick. So
What's
we got
that?
Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler, Ultimate
Oh, yeah,
Fighter
that was
coaches,
announced since our interview with Chevy Bridges, which was our last
at
episode.
170 pounds.
170 pounds, season of the Ultimate Fighter. Yeah, let's talk about that. So they're gearing up for a September fight. Now everybody is saying,
Maybe
"Oh, I'll
November,
believe it when it
MSG.
happens," because McGregor's not in the testing pool yet, as far as USADA.
Yeah.
But he has until March to get into the testing pool to make it for a September fight, because he has to have 6 months clean. For those of you listening, and if you're wondering why he wasn't in the pool, it's not like he's out doing steroids like haters like to imply.
Yeah.
He couldn't have got proper medical treatment for his broken leg
Yeah.
by remaining in the pool.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so
Yeah.
it can be spun whatever you like, and just because he happens to be putting on size at the same time, it's not like he's a fucking heavyweight now.
Yeah.
He put on like 15 pounds of muscle, which for his frame and his size is not weird. It's not crazy. It actually can be done with hard work, especially when you're can afford the type of shit that Conor can do. If he was suddenly a fucking walking around at 85 or 90,
he was like
200
Paul
pounds,
Harris, looking like that was
like, whoa, okay, maybe that's a little sus. If those are gains that are impossible without the use of steroids, like the fucking Liver King. You look at the Liver King, you're like, oh yeah, you're on roids.
Yeah.
It's because Conor went up a weight class. He's not on steroids. Like, but anyways, what do you think of this whole? They're putting it on big ESPN too. It's going to be the first time Tough is on regular ESPN and not just Plus app.
Yep. Should be interesting.
There are a couple personalities. I mean, I like Chandler.
Yeah.
He's actually a super nice guy, but he can talk some shit.
Yeah, you can definitely talk
he
some shit.
He can get on the mic.
Yeah.
He doesn't. A lot of the guys that are heavy into religion, like he is in his personal life, they don't have that kind of mean guy mentality or that shit talking.
He's a showman, though.
But he's a showman. He can get out there. He can put it up on the mic, and he can.
And he can play the game too.
He can
like
play the game.
I've heard him.
I was looking for.
Like I've heard him a lot on like a whole lot of like podcasts. Like he's on Bussin' with the Boys on Barstool all the time, and he has that playfulness. Like he's a guy's guy, kind of shit talker. You know what I mean? Like that's why kind of like how it was when Uriah Faber was on there with Conor. A lot of the shit talk that they would have would be like funny and like lighthearted. But now that they're gonna fight after this too, I think this is where like the shit talk will take a whole nother like step up. You know what I mean?
I'm very interested in this. I don't really get a lot of the people that like to hate on Chandler and his persona. Like, dude, you and I have met a lot of fucking UFC fighters.
Yeah.
Like, I've lost count at this point.
Yeah.
And when you meet people, you kind of just you get some kind of vibe. That dude was the coolest, nicest motherfucker I've ever met in this
energy
sport. Period.
Yeah.
Like,
the energy at which he like takes to actually, when he's meeting with somebody, like because we've met him at a meet and greet, like
and I'm not some fan. He's literally just another fighter to me.
Yeah.
Like, you're no different than if I was meeting anybody else. But dude,
he's a good guy. You could tell he's genuine.
He was so fucking cool. You could see it, and we were waiting. Like, he was so cool with everybody, and then he got up there, and he was so fucking genuine. Like, you can sense it, man.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these guys, and I'm not throwing shade on them, but I mean, they're not. Dude, that's not a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
And they'll turn it on when the camera hits them. They'll throw up a big smile, and they'll look great for the photo. And then it's like they're like, all right, cool piece,
Well, and also,
and that's fine. I'm not bitching, but he was different.
Thing too is like he's naturally like that. It's not like a shtick.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You know
like,
what I
he's
mean?
a fucking really good dude. Like, you can just
it's like
tell.
the same thing. It's like it's got to be exhausting to be someone like a Colby Covington or like a fucking Henry Cejudo or something, and just like have to put that on to get what you want. Like Chandler is just himself, and that's why I feel like this could be a very successful season of Ultimate Fighter because the two coaches are fucking just print money style and it's entertainers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like Connor is gonna come with all the witty bullshit, and Chandler's gonna come back with some good ones, and they'll make reels out of every goddamn thing every week.
Chandler's been packing
It's
on
gonna
some
be
size
big.
too. He's
Yeah.
big anyways.
Yeah, he's always
When we met him, I was like, God damn,
He's
you cut
jacked
to
as fuck.
55, bro. Jacked.
He's got a similar build to like Eddie Alvarez kind of.
Yeah, but Connor's bigger though. Connor's got that giant goddamn head.
Yeah.
Connor's frame is odd,
Very odd.
and I'm very curious to see in
This
person
is gonna
like
be an
how
interesting
he
fight.
looks with that size versus just these photos that we see online.
Yeah. It's gonna be an interesting fight, honestly, because it goes one of two ways too. Like Chandler is such a wild fighter sometimes that that could put him in some trouble against McGregor, but that also could be the X factor for him too, because Connor's had so much time away from the octagon. Like how he reacts to someone blitzing him I'd be very curious to see that. You know what I mean?
I know. Would he handle him like he handled fucking Jose Aldo, or is he
Yeah.
gonna go down?
Or does he handle it like when Poirier blitzed him on the cage and put him out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's two different versions of how that ends. That's why I feel like it's such a great fight, and it's a perfect fight for him to come back to
Dude.
because it's a winnable fight too.
It is a winnable fight for both guys.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if Connor gets the victory at 170 over Michael Chandler, I mean,
What does that really mean, though?
well, it means he's getting a title shot at
Yeah.
170 is what
At
I'm
170
saying. Like,
or 155?
170. Absolutely. 100%. He can say all he wants to about Islam. He doesn't want to fight Islam Makhachev. Nobody wants to see Khabib 2.0 against fucking Connor 1.5, do we?
Yeah.
I mean,
only gave him the half a point.
Well, because he's fucking ultra rich. That's
Yeah.
why he's not some fucking hungry damn Dagestani out in the middle of fucking nowhere training his ass off.
Yeah.
He's fucking on his Lamborghini yacht, fucking trolling around. Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And I know he's putting in work and et cetera, but that's what I mean. He's Connor 1.5. Like, he's not.
No, I feel that.
But he does have a shot at getting a title. There's
against who though?
Leon Edwards. If
You think
Leon Edwards
Leon
keeps the
beats-
title,
You think Leon beats Usman again?
I'm just playing the what if game here.
Okay.
And let's follow that.
But if
line
it's
for a
Usman
second.
though, you think they give him Usman? I don't
No,
think
Usman
so.
would fucking probably murder him.
Usman would just take him down and hurt him.
Connor gets a title shot somewhere though.
I
That's how it
agree,
works.
but I think it's at 155
Even
because I feel like kind of what we talked about a little bit earlier in the show too. Like I feel like 155 is kind of a nobody has a claim place right now, and unless there's some like real big like of purpose fights like coming before September, this could be the number one contenders fight. Like if Chandler beats Connor, I see them giving him Islam too.
it could very well.
You know what I mean? Like
It's the UFC, and none of this makes any sporting sense.
yeah, no,
And Connor
never
does
will.
not deserve it. I love Conor McGregor. We're big fans here on the show. We talk
Yeah.
about it, but like he doesn't deserve even sniffing a title shot. Like in
No.
the sporting aspect, of course
No,
not.
no.
The victory over Chandler gets you a title shot at either one of those doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
But it will happen, especially if Leon Edwards is somehow the champ still. Because Connor definitely thinks he could beat Leon Edwards, and he actually
They're
might
boys,
be able
though.
to.
That's what's interesting.
Yeah,
They are boys.
he don't give a fuck. He wants that history 3 times,
No, I
triple
feel
C,
that.
real triple C. So
That'd be like UFC Triple C. That'd be crazy.
yeah, it'd be crazy. But anyways, that's going to be interesting to watch it unfold. Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
I'm actually down for the tough again. It's been a while. Was it season 31? Jesus.
Something like
They
that.
crank out 5 seasons a year.
Little
over here?
interesting note. You know who was reached out to originally, but then was not chosen? Will Brooks, who has 2 wins over Michael Chandler. I think they didn't give him it because of that, though. Like, because like imagine if you just had like one of the people in the tough house just like fucking. Yeah, dog, don't tell me to do shit. I knocked your ass out.
Right.
Like, and I beat you in a 5-round fight. Both.
That's fucking crazy. Okay.
Because I guess there's going to be like one of the team is going to be like like it's gonna be like half guys who are like new guys and like half like guys who have had like time in the UFC. Is from what I was reading on Twitter. I don't know if that's like
Do
official.
we know the
I
weight
don't know if
classes
any
yet?
of the details are even like real official. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
They're probably
the
fluid.
chatter I saw on Twitter was that it's gonna be a 155-pound season, and that it's gonna be like guys that are new guys versus guys who have been in the UFC before. Could be wrong though. Because sometimes they just do that anyways. Like they'll just have like some random dude who's also like fought in the UFC like 3 times. Like remember when Joe Lozon was on the Jens Pulver BJ Penn season and he had beat Jens Pulver?
Yeah. That was awkward.
It was awkward. Speaking of Jens Pulver, he's going to the UFC Hall of Fame as well. So congrats to him.
About time to put some respect on his name, for real. That's a dude
Legend.
people just seem to forget about.
Yeah, legend straight up.
So yeah, congratulations there.
Yep.
Let's talk about BKFC here to round out the show. We've got BKFC Knucklemania number 3 coming up February 17th. This is on a Friday. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can check it out. Go to bareknuckle.tv. Shit, man.
$5 in combat sports.
It really is, and we get no money for that. That's just facts. Now, this card has got great fights all across it. Of course, Chevy Wildman Bridges, who was on our show last week, is going to be fighting Kevin Kroom. We've got John Dodson is on this card. We've got actually Greg Hardy's stupid ass himself showing up on this card.
Yeah.
We've got Diego Sanchez fighting on this card. We've got Austin Trout, pretty decent name for boxing, fighting Diego in the co-main event, which is just wild. And to top it all off, we have got a title unification bout with Lorenzo Hunt and Mike the Marine Richmond, which is just, it doesn't get a whole lot better for bare knuckle boxing skill than those two guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they are right up there with the top names in the division that you can throw around. Like people talk about Louis Palomino, they talk about Connor Tierney. These guys are extremely talented. This is definitely a card worth checking out. That's going to have action top to bottom. Let's talk about some of these fights. So let's talk about the main event, and then we'll just go down. All right. Okay. We have got Lorenzo Hunt, dual champion. He is the cruiserweight champ. He is the light heavyweight champ. In their pound-for-pound rankings, he's number 2 behind Louis Palomino. He's facing Mike Richmond, number 1 at light heavyweight, number 2 at middleweight. I believe he's got the interim strap of some sorts here. Sometimes it can be hard to get a lot of that information, but these guys are on massive win streaks, though. Look, let's talk about Lorenzo Hunt for a minute. He is 9-1 in BKFC. Like, he lost his second fight. Yeah, and he has been on a streak ever since then. He's taken out some fucking major names like Joe Riggs, Hector Lombard, Quentin Henry. Like, these are top-notch fighters. And to amass a record like that is super impressive. They call him the Juggernaut. He's an absolute beast. Yeah. But Richmond is no joke either. He's 5-0 in BKFC. And he has got serious skill.
Yeah.
Wins over David Rickles, wins over Dakota Cochran. What are your thoughts on this, dude?
This is going to be an interesting fight. And I feel like it's going to be one that's going to... It's going to be one of those, kind of similar to his last fight with Quentin Henry. I feel like both of them are just going to step up in the middle and just whoever lands first is going to win. Like, literally. Because I feel like Quentin Henry, when he fought Lorenzo Hunt, literally had that weird, like, little... Remember that little weird thing where he, like, fake knocked him, like, with an illegal strike that never was illegal?
Yeah, it looked like, at first, it looked like he took a hit when he was grounded.
Yeah.
But then on the replay, it really looked like he faked it.
Yeah.
And faked being knocked out, which is... We're just saying what it looked like here. I don't know what to fucking make of all that. It looked really sus, though. Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like now, since that fight, I feel like Lorenzo Hunt's on, like, a warpath to, like, prove himself even more, which is crazy because he's already like literally one of the greatest BKFC fighters. But he's just like this whole like build up and everything. He just seems like he's upset. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he doesn't feel like people respect him like they should.
Yeah, well, it's 185 pounds, and I love Mike Richmond. I respect him, but I don't think anybody's stopping Lorenzo Hunt right
Yeah,
now.
he's a dog.
Based on a lot of what you were saying right there, and we haven't seen anybody get the best of Richmond. We've seen him take some damage, but we've always seen him last in there. But I don't know if you can take the damage from a guy like Hunt.
Yeah, no.
He is
hits
absolutely
so hard.
jacked. He hits incredibly hard. He's super fast. He can blitz in and out really quickly. Now, while Richmond has got excellent defense, he slips a lot of punches. He can be hard to hit. I don't see this going 5 rounds.
No way.
I think by round 3 it's going to be over, and we're going to see Lorenzo Hunt pump that record up to 10-1 in
Yeah, I agree with
BKFC and
that.
continue his streak here with another impressive victory.
Yeah, I think he's the best guy in that weight class. Like, and he's gonna be the best for a while.
What about the co-main event? We have got Austin Trout, the world champ boxer,
Yeah.
making his bare knuckle debut against Diego the Nightmare Sanchez, former UFC fighter,
a
former
dream.
tough contestant, former tough season 1 winner, the same season that had Forrest and Stephen Bonner, was it not?
Yep.
He kind of gets overlooked as the winner that season because of their epic fight that went down when Forrest, took that. But there was 2 champs that season. But that's how old he is. I mean, Stephen Bonner, God rest his fucking soul, has tragically passed. Forrest Griffin is doing tire commercials,
He's been
Power
retired for
Slap
a
League,
while,
and
too.
kind of still getting the benefit of Dana White's good graces.
Yeah.
No shade on Forrest, it's true though.
But he's been retired since what, like 2000?
And he's long retired.
Like,
Yeah.
like he's been retired probably 10 years.
Diego has been on a journey.
Yeah.
Look, Diego Sanchez used to be a great fighter, but so much happened to him with that whole fiasco with that crazy guru dude he got tied up with, and his exit from the UFC over that is what led to it.
Then they're falling out, and
thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God he got away from that horrible incubus of a fucking man. Like, good God.
So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that I think since then he has maybe, gotten more serious in his fight career, because I do think there's this thing with Diego Sanchez's career as a whole that when you look at it, he falls into these ruts where you think it's all over and it's all like, he doesn't got it anymore. He's this, he's that, he's everything else. But then he would have these like crazy performances where he'd like rattle off 3 wins in a row, and you'd be like, okay, Diego Sanchez is still alive, dog. Yeah. And although I do think the whole thing with the UFC and how it ended and everything was a real bad look, and it worries me going into a fight against someone like Trout, who's a fucking really good boxer, and Diego's not the greatest striker in the world. But I wouldn't be surprised if somehow he pulls it out.
Yeah, I don't think this is as bad as it comes across initially. If you follow Diego's career, he's taken a lot of hits. I think this might not be such a good idea, but the truth of the matter is they're not doing Power Slap League. That will be far more dangerous for Diego than bare knuckle boxing is.
Yeah.
The punches are actually not quite as hard. Not having all of that padding on your hand forces fighters to pull back. You can't just punch with crazy abandon, or you're going to break your hand, and then the fight's going to be over.
Yeah.
Most of the damage on these tends to be superficial. It's easier to get cut, but you're not seeing as many concussions and as much brain trauma, surprisingly, to much people's. I believe this is backed up now at this point. Like BKFC likes to talk about it. I'm pretty sure what I'm saying is actually backed up by some science. And some statistics, I should say, at this point. So I don't think it's terrible that he's decided to do bare knuckle for his brain health.
No, I don't.
I think it's okay. It's really probably not that bad, and he has a decent chance here. We'll see. Like, if he comes out here and gets smoked, then he should not do it anymore. But if he holds his own and does decent, you know what I mean? He doesn't get
Pulls off
slept
some
in the first
victory.
round or some shit where we're like, oh God. You go for good for Diego, man. Maybe he can make a run here. And some of these boxers, when they come over, they don't translate very well. I mean,
Is
Artem
this Trout's
Lobov beat
first time?
fucking beat Paulie Malignaggi. I mean,
This
think
is
about
Trout's
that.
first fight in bare knuckle as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is something that I was thinking about as well. Is the defensive thing as well as there's a lot more having to like slip and be ready to cover up. Where in boxing you could catch on your gloves like here and there. It's really hard to catch punches in bare knuckle. Like
Right. And if
know,
you shell
so-
up in boxing, you're still taking those hits. They're just
Yeah.
hitting your arm first. But
Mhm.
that doesn't really happen in bare knuckle. Not too many people shell up like that because your
And
fist
also-
gets through.
not only that, yeah, you can get around the guard of a lot of these guys when
Exactly.
we're talking about like these big shots. You can loop around, two hands versus two big ass gloves.
Right. So I like Diego's chances here. I don't know. It all really depends on how Trout manages to cross over as well as Diego.
Yeah.
I have no idea who wins that fight, but I'm not
I'll take Trout.
really upset about Diego doing it like a lot of people seem to be. Most of those people are the ones that seem to think that bare knuckle is like some sort of barbaric travesty.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. It's not. That's Power Slap League is what you're
Yeah.
thinking of.
Exactly.
What about John Dodson fighting Jarrod Grant on here? Another 5 rounds of bare knuckle fucking action. Dodson looked like a world beater
Yeah.
in his first fight.
He looked fucking great.
And then he went over to Risen and won a fight over there.
Yeah. So
in
he's on a roll.
MMA. Now he's back here at the big show.
Yeah.
This is in Albuquerque, so that's basically his home.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about Jarrod Grant, but I think John Dodson is too good at this point for an unknown bare knuckle fighter. No disrespect on
He
him.
used to fight in the UFC.
Is he that Jarrod Grant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure. I want to say he is. If not, I could be wrong, but I think that's who it is. But yeah, if that's who it is, this could be an actual.
Dude, Dodson looked like he could fight for a title.
Yeah,
in
he
bare
did.
knuckle with his movement and his speed. He looked outstanding. I mean, when a guy like that, like we all know how fast he was in MMA with his hands and his movement, but he did all that while still having to be wary of kicks and takedowns and all this other. You don't have to worry about shit, but the other dude's 2 fists.
Yeah.
And I think for a guy of Dodson's skill level, that really opens up a lot of possibilities. He's so fucking fast.
Yeah.
He's going to overwhelm Jarrod Grant and get the quick victory here. I don't see this going past the 3rd round either.
Yeah, this should be a good fight for Dodson as well. I think so.
We got our homie Chevy Bridges on the show last week fighting Kevin Kroom. This is Chevy's 2nd time on the bare knuckle Knucklemania event. He was on Knucklemania 2. He's the only male fighter that's done that.
Yep.
I like him in this fight. Of course, we're rooting for him. We're in Chevy's corner. We can't wait to watch it. We don't know a whole lot about his opponent, but Chevy, we know, is training twice a day.
Yep.
He's really focused. He's putting a lot of work in. He's taking it super serious. And, he kind of got a little bit humbled a little bit. I think in our interview with that, it came across, maybe those weren't the words he used, but he said basically he didn't take bare knuckle quite as serious as he should have at first, because it did seem to have almost a sideshow aspect to it when it first came around.
Yeah.
But now he is dialed in. He sees the opportunity. He's been on the big stage before, and I think he's going to come in here, and that experience and that dedication and that hard work is going to shine. And I see Chevy Bridges getting a good victory right here.
Yeah, me too.
What about our favorite?
I was just gonna
What about one of the worst dudes in combat sports getting a shot in BKFC? Greg fucking Hardy. Is going to be fighting here. I'm not a fan of BKFC for signing this dude. At least they're not putting him up on the card. At least he's not. The main event
for now.
I'm not happy about it. I'm really one of the people I'm really rooting for now is Josh Watson. I mean, he's 1-1 in bare knuckle, but he's given up a lot of size here to Greg Hardy, which is just an advantage Greg's going to have. He's 6'5" and built like a fucking brick shithouse. I mean, he's thick as fuck.
Coming off 2 boxing victories.
He's huge. Yeah, he is coming off over. I know he had the one over
Rockman.
but he
had
like
a
an 80
KO.
pound
He had a
advantage.
KO before that too.
80-pound advantage over that dude.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So he's got hands, unfortunately.
I don't know how you stop him if he bulls up on you swinging.
Dude, he's just so big, and he's actually like pretty solid technical wise. Like he's not like he does get a little wild, but he's pretty good.
Oh, he's an athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, we may not like him for his actions outside of his sporting event. In fact, he beat on a woman. But I mean,
Beyond that, he laid her on a bed of guns and said he's gonna kill her too.
Yeah, he tormented
after he beat her up.
Just horrible, atrocious things. And
Yeah.
I just can't believe any fight promotion gives this guy the time of fucking day. And that's why every time he fights, I'm praying for someone to kick his ass.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping
Which happens.
it does. So I'm hoping Josh Watson's
could
the
happen.
guy here. I'm hoping that experience that he has will make up for some size difference, and he'll just get one on the chin, man.
Yeah.
Because that would be great if Hardy got
wins.
KTFO'd and this ended his bare knuckle career as well. But unfortunately, I just it's hard to deny that he could have some real success here.
Yeah, me too. I agree with you.
Well, look, Will Santiago's fighting Noah Cutter on this card. We have got Gaston Reno fighting Van Sickle. We have got Sanchez versus Perez. There's a host of exciting fights from prelims all the way to the top of the card. I'll say it again, you'll agree, best $5 you can spend would be to watch this. I have never been disappointed by a BKFC event. Not once did I watch it and go, well, damn, I'm bummed. Yeah. Unlike, for instance, this past weekend with the UFC, good card, I was really bummed by that decision in the main event. So,
or you can pay $50 and watch Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury.
$50.
Yeah.
That's coming up here real soon, isn't it? The
It's
26th of February. So, like the week after this.
You know who the backup is to that, yeah? Mike Perry.
Oh, wait, that's right. Diamond Platinum Mike Perry. That's Platinum. Sad thing is
Jake probably win fight both of them.
Yeah, the thing is Tommy, his best attribute in boxing is his name.
Yeah.
And over in England, they know that. Mm-hmm. He's known as a reality TV star first there and a boxer second there. Mm-hmm. Like yes, he's undefeated. And if you look at the combined record of his fucking first 5 fights, they've won like 7 and lost like 200.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. Yeah. And now that's also typical, though. Yeah. Those are guys, for instance, that Jake Paul should be fighting instead of retired MMA guys who's never boxed in their life.
Yeah.
But
the like collective number of fights Jake Paul's opponents have won, it's like 0-0 in
this is
boxing.
That's the flip side to that.
You know what I mean? Like the guy he's probably fought with the most boxing experience was Anderson Silva, and he had 2 boxing matches, one against a retired boxer and one against an MMA fighter who turned into a boxer.
Yeah, so you've got a guy who's barely, in some cases, getting victories over club fighters and journeymen, and you've got another guy who's had some decent victories over guys who don't know shit about boxing.
Yeah.
And it's $50.
Yeah.
I really hope Tommy wins, but I'm not holding my breath because I haven't seen him tested against anybody to know if he has any skill. And a lot of people in the know about boxing, they're like, yeah, he sucks.
Yeah.
Like, so.
I don't think Tommy wins at all. I think Tommy gets dogged. That's going to suck because that's who everybody wants it to beat Jake Paul.
How does he? And Jake's gonna get that name value.
Oh,
boost,
dude,
bro.
Yeah.
Like he does for beating a. How old is Anderson? 47, 48?
Yeah, it's 47. Yeah, that was hard to watch.
So yeah, but that is a thing. That is a thing for $50, or $5 for solid fucking fun on BKFC top to bottom. Where we're never gonna see Jake Paul.
Bare knuckle.
Yeah, that ain't never gonna happen.
Yeah. I am kind of curious about his MMA thing, though.
Let's see.
Fucking PFL, dude.
Dude, you talk about boxers and MMA. What about Deontay Wilder now issuing a challenge to Francis Ngannou for 2 fights, one in MMA, one in the boxing?
That would be interesting because I feel like if you talk about all the different boxers in the heavyweight division, Deontay Wilder probably translates the best into MMA.
Probably due to his lack of actual boxing skill.
Yeah, he's wild.
Yeah.
His like wild
And I mean,
ability.
as a pure boxer, he's not that skilled. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean he's not great.
He's
Obviously,
got
he's a
probably-
killer.
Probably the
But
best freaking.
like him and Tyson Fury's skill sets are completely different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. And that's why I feel like if he went into an MMA fight, I don't know. Him and fucking Francis lock them into any kind of cage, whether it's an octagon or a ring, and I'm watching.
The
You know what I
PFL
mean?
allows that type of thing too. If, for instance,
Or one championship.
one championship would allow that, I'm pretty sure Scott Coker would get on board with that.
Mhm.
The only idiots in the room that wouldn't allow that would be Dana White and
UFC,
company,
Yeah.
who were scoffing that Francis could even get a fight with any of these guys. Because now it's all three of the basically the most well-known top heavyweights have called him out.
Yeah.
Tyson obviously reignited all of that. Anthony Joshua made a call out, as did Eddie Hearn, Joshua's promoter,
Yep.
and that's dead serious.
Mhm.
And now Wilder for a 2-fight deal.
Yeah.
Whatever's going to happen, he's going to get paid.
Yeah, and that's really all he wants in the end of the day, and that's what the game we play. It's fucking prize fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, good for him. And it kind of makes Dana look a little stupid too.
Yeah.
Sitting here saying that he couldn't get shit. Remember when Chael came out? I don't know what's wrong with Chael Sonnen lately, but he's been saying a lot of stupid shit when I've been tuning in. He said literally that Ngannou versus Tyson Fury was, quote, the dumbest idea in combat sports history.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Once again, I'll refer you to Power Slap League, and we'll move on.
Yeah. Here's where I feel that Francis has to do here, though. He has to, if he is in a scenario where he ends up taking one of these fights, whether it be Wilder, whether it be Joshua or Fury, he can't just get blown out of the water. That's for sure.
You talking
Like,
about for his future
yeah,
possibilities,
yeah.
if he's going to continue boxing or just with
Either
MMA?
boxing, fighting, like he's at an age where if he goes into a boxing match and gets like just tooled, but gets like paid better than he did in the UFC, it will possibly be his last combat sports fight.
If he pulls a Conor McGregor and has a decent showing and
Yeah.
loses,
You can have another boxing match.
you could. Or
But
if he could land this is heavyweight, so he could land a hammer and win.
yeah,
as
100%.
well.
Yeah.
Like,
But if he goes out there and say puts like just an outclassed kind of performance where he just looks like he just does not have the skills that these guys have, it will be his last fight because the UFC will then use that against him because he and be like, "See, we told you couldn't go get it your own. Now we don't want you." And then he goes to a PFL or something or whatever if he wanted to. But I feel like it will be the egg on his face if he goes out and just gets
yeah,
dominated.
if he gets really embarrassed, yeah, absolutely. The only saving grace for him the only thing that he can do is maximize this first fight. That's why he can't fuck around with any warm up fights.
Yeah,
He
no.
can't risk not looking good, and then people will lose interest in him fighting one of the top guys. That's all the unknown. That's where Eddie Hearn has it nailed. He talks about the value being in the unknown. And I would say his two best options were actually Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury because of the promotional possibilities of both of them. Anthony Joshua is a boring dud. What promotion does that do? Eddie Hearn is the guy.
The only
the
thing I
mouthpiece
think
there.
that would do well in the idea of him and Joshua is if they did it in overseas, because you're talking about Francis, who is a huge French, influence when it comes to like his,
Yeah.
or like if they did it in Africa, that would be even crazier because that's kind of what you've seen, Hearn and those guys be able to pull off is some of these, like crazy locations and, really maximizing dollar value of where you put the fight on. And I feel like if you do that with the Anthony Joshua over there, it sells just as well.
Maybe, but you also have a problem with American.
And I think that's the most winnable fight.
With American pay-per-view sales.
Yeah.
Because the time difference there makes it very difficult.
Yeah, that's true.
You're going to get, the venue would be great, but the pay-per-view sales aren't going to come from that continent, you know.
No.
So I think the build-up, obviously we know Tyson Fury has a lot to say.
Yeah.
I mean, the press conferences would be amazing, but actually Deontay Wilder is pretty good on the mic as well.
Yeah.
He talks a lot of shit. I think it'd be quite a build-up. You know, his ring entrances are fucking amazing. He's got to get a massive number of pay-per-views sold. Like, how much would it? I mean, how many pay-per-views would it take for him to get $100 million?
Probably $1 million.
I mean, it'll be $79, right?
Probably at least $1 million.
Yeah, they need to do more, like 3 or 4
million.
Well, like Connor's fight worldwide did 5.2.
Yeah, worldwide. I'm talking just U.S. U.S. it would have to do
like,
over $1 million.
$2.5 million U.S. or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, if it's $79 to get $1 million, that's $79 million. I mean, that doesn't even cover.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more money coming in. There's this fee site will be where most of this money comes from, which is why it's most likely going to happen in Saudi Arabia or somewhere, because they'll shell out. They'll to pay both boxers with the site fee right there, and then the pay-per-view will just be icing on the cake.
Why does everyone think the UFC is so down to always go there? Because they're paying the UFC. It's all they're getting the money from fucking ESPN. On top of that, it's a fucking woo.
It turns into a giant commercial for.
Yeah.
Why do you think on Fight Island they wouldn't stop talking about Dubai tourism?
Yeah,
because that's why they got paid.
Yaz Island itself, the whole time. That's all they talked about.
Same thing when they have these fights in the Middle East. Yeah, they're paying. That'll cover both boxers' purses at that point. So. Anyways, interesting shit afoot for Francis Ngannou as well in the past couple of weeks.
I would say, just breaking it down this way, I'd say the best fight that sells is Fury, the most winnable fight is Joshua, and the most unknown is Wilder.
Yeah, I don't think he can beat Fury ever.
I
think maybe if they fought 1,000 times, and I'm not trying to talk shit, if they fought 1,000 times, maybe he might win once against Tyson Fury.
And then I think
but the other two guys, that's a bit of a chance.
Joshua's a winnable fight, but I don't think it sells as well.
Yeah.
And then I think Wilder and him is such a crazy unknown because they are two guys who carry so much power that it would sell itself just based on that.
He could sleep Wilder though, I feel. He could sleep Joshua too. He ain't gonna land on Tyson Fury. It won't happen if Fury's serious. Yeah. He'll land on Wilder. He'll land on Joshua.
Yeah, we also see Wilder get landed on for 5-6 rounds and then just fucking put someone out with one shot that they've just never been hit with ever in their life and get melted. Like Francis, we've seen him do that to people, but we've also seen people survive 5 rounds of him giving everything he's got. Like Wilder, outside of Tyson Fury, and really Tyson Fury included, there's nobody who has just been able to stand in front of Deontay Wilder for 12 rounds.
Right.
It's just not something that happens.
Interesting fucking shit.
I think that wraps the show up for today.
I think so. We'd like to thank our sponsor for the Weed of the Week segment once again, Binoid. You can get the greatest deals on legal hemp-derived CBD products and more, including tinctures, vape cartridges, edibles, all kinds of stuff, Delta 9, everything you can think of that's legal. Just go to SWATMMA.com, or you can click the links that are in the bottom of the description wherever you might be streaming this or watching the video on YouTube. We've got all that info, though, in one fucking spot.
SWATMMA.com, where you can head over there, click the gear button, and support the podcast. Then head over to Instagram and follow us at SWAT MMA Podcast.
Later. Peace.